Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry that I have not posted this video sooner, but my MacBook, it crashed and I had to get it repaired. So I am just now able to do the 5th video for the 5-day Mother's Day series that I was doing. So again, I apologize about being late, but here we are. So let's go ahead and get started. First, you want to come over to text and you want to text out 10 letters in a row. And I've already did that. So I'm just going to show them on the canvas. And what you want to do is you want to do 10 rows of 10 letters. And here we are. I have all 10 of my rows. And then the next thing you want to do is adjust the letter spacing between each row of letters. So you want to click on a row and then come up here to letter spacing, and you can adjust the letter spacing between like 4, 5, or 6. And let's see. And I like the way 4 looks. So we're going to do that with each row of letters. And oh yeah, I didn't even tell you guys what we're making. So we are making a Mother's Day crossword search. Or Mother's Day crossword puzzle, whatever you want to call it. And that's what we're doing today. So like I said, we're just going to do this for each row of letters. And you, like I said, you want to come up here to letter spacing and backspace and just hit 4. And again, we're going to do that for each row. So we're just about done here. And then let's see. Make sure each row has 10 letters. Let's count this row because this one looked like it has too many. Let's count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, it has 10. So then the next thing we want to do is we want to move this over a little bit. And then we want to add in our letters for our names that we're going to be using. So for this, I'm going to be using my mom's kids' names, which is going to be my name and my sister's name. And I'm just going to do 2 names just for the purpose of the video. And then, all right, so like I said, we're just going to do these 2 words. And let's see where Q is. Well, hold on. Let's go ahead and finish moving these over here. And I guess before we get started with adding in the words, I want to go ahead and ungroup a row. So since this row has a Q, I am going to ungroup it. So I'm going to click on the row, and then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to click on the ungroup. And then I'm going to change this letter to a U. I'm going to change this to an I. I'm going to change this to an L, this to an L, and then this to an A. All right, so we got 1 word in there. And then for the next name, let's find a C to add my name. Oh, well, not 1 C, so I guess we're going to have to add it. So that's okay. So let's go here. Well, before we do that, we want to group that back together, right? All right, sorry about that, y'all. All right, so then the next thing we want to do is we want to add the next. So I'm going to change that B to a C. And then I'm going to change this to an H. The G to an A. And this G to an N. All right. So next up, what we want to do is we want to get rid of this because we don't need these names anymore. And then after that, we want to just kind of align these like so. And you see how much space is in there, so we're going to have to fix that as well. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to highlight all of our rows, and then we are going to ungroup it. And I'm going to make this smaller so I can see all the rows at once to make it much easier. Just make it a little bit smaller. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the first row here. There we go. I'm going to take this first row here. Ungroup it. Ungroup. Okay, I guess it wants us to ungroup each row. So let's do that first. Ungroup each row. Sorry about that. And then the next thing we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to grab each row like so. And then we're going to come over here and we are going to align center horizontally like that. And it didn't get the P, so I'm going to have to move the P over and then redo it. There we go. And then I'm going to move this row over because we're good with this row. And then we're going to have to do the next row. And you're going to have to do this for literally each row. So I'm going to move that over, and then I'm going to take the next letter and do that like that. And we're going to do the same thing for each row of letters. We're going to have to do that. I'm going to click that again. And then I'm going to group it. Make sure you remember to group it. And then I'm going to group that one. And then I'm going to move this one over. And then, like I said, we have to do this for each row letters. And line it, center horizontally. And if you find a better way to do this, then that's cool too, whatever works for you, but this is just my way of doing it. And then I want to group. And I want to move it over. But as you see over here, there's some spacing issues, so I'm going to have to ungroup and regroup, so no problem. This is just a tedious, just one of those, tedious projects where it take a little bit of extra time. All right. And then I'm going to group it again. Move it over here. Move it over. Move this over. Move this over. And move this over. And then we're going to group it all together. Like I said, this is the most time-consuming part right here. It's trying to make sure each row is good. Let's see. Let's group it. Group it, and then, no, sorry. Let's undo that. Let's align it, and then group it. Sorry about that. Sorry it takes so long, y'all. But as you can tell, it's a lot of steps in this project. Yeah, right. We're making a little progress here. Remember, don't forget to align first and then group. All right, getting down to our last 3 rows. Align it, center horizontally, and then group it. Bring it over, but not real close. After this step, it's not much left to do. Again, center horizontally, and then group it. And then let's do the last row. Center horizontally, and then group it. All right. All right, y'all. So we got that together. Now, remember, it's 10 rows of 10 letters. So we already got our names in there. And right here, you can see it's a little bit of a spacing issue. Over here, you can see it's a little bit of a spacing issue. But that is a very easy fix. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go back through and I'm going to ungroup each row. Because we're going to need to do this to fix the spacing issues. All right. So you're going to ungroup. And we're going to take this row. And I'm going to align it center vertically. And I'm going to do that for each row. And with this one right here, it's still just a little bit of spacing issues. Let's see. Okay. All right. Remember to hit center vertically. And then after we get done doing this, everything should start looking much better. All right. And I'm sorry, y'all, this is like such a time-consuming project, but it's such a neat project to do for Mother's Day. Just got a few rows left to do. All right. Let's fix this row down here, our last row. Center vertically, and this row just still, it's just looking like it's just too far apart from this row to me. All right, that looked much better. And then just going to make sure it's still good. Okay. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I am going to highlight this row just to make sure everything is still good. Okay, so since it wasn't, we're going to redo this one, each row one more time. Because when you're doing this, you got to make sure like everything aligns, you know what I'm saying, just right. So we're just going to do each row again. And I am going to speed this tutorial up. So if anyone has any questions, you can just leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer you. Because like I said, this is like a longer tutorial. And I don't really like to make real long tutorials because myself, for one, don't like to watch them. So therefore, I try not to make real long tutorials because I know there's other people out there like myself that doesn't like to watch really long tutorials. It's like, come on, get to the point. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I promise we are almost done. All right, so we're good. We're good here. All right, so I'm going to highlight all of this. Well, select all of this. And then I'm just going to group it together. And then I am going to add in just some squares. Let's see what else they may have in here. Yeah. So yeah, so I just want to do some squares. So I'm just going to bring in a square. And I am going to make it smaller. But let's see if that's going to fit. I need it to be just a little bit shorter. So let's see. Okay, so this is perfect, and I'm going to change the color. And let's just change it to yellow, and then I am going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to take this one and I am going to send it to the back. And then I'm going to take this one and I am going to turn it sideways like that. And I'm going to make this one a little bit longer. Let's see if this will work. Okay, so we're going to have to make this one a little bit longer, just a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to click arrange and then I'm going to send to the back. And that is how you do your crossword search puzzle for Mother's Day. So the next step, if you want to, if you're going to be deciding to put this like onto a plaque or whatever you're going to be putting this on. So let's go ahead and let me do this. I'm going to select this one and then I'm going to select this one as well. So I'm going to group those together. So I'm going to move those over here. And then for this portion, since it's all together, you can, depending on what size you want to do, let's see what size this is. So for this one, I am actually going to move this back over here real quick so I can show you guys something. So for this, I'm just going to highlight this whole thing and then I'm going to unlock it. And let's just say we want to make this and put this on a 5x7. Right? So that's kind of small, but of course, like I said, you can make your design however, you know, big or small you want to make it. But just let's say, for instance, for the purpose of this video, you want to add this onto a picture frame and you want to make it a 5x7. Let's come over here and let's get us another shape. Or if you want to put it on a larger picture frame, and let's say you want to put it on an 8x10. Let's bring us a square over. And let's make the square an 8x10. All right, so now we got our square and it's an 8x10. And I'm just going to make it white and then I'm going to hit arrange and I'm going to move it to the back. And I'm going to need to move it to the back again. All right, there we go. So we're going to move this up some so you can have some room at the top for your words. And if you are going to be doing an 8x10, let's just make this a little bit bigger so you can kind of see how it'll fit on your plaque. Let's do 9. All right, here we go. So take a square over your design like this. And then you want to make sure you got enough room at the top. So we're going to actually have to make that a little bit smaller. All right. Move this up a little bit. And so you can add your words, Happy Mother's Day, or whatever you want to use at the top of your picture frame. You can just say, Happy Mother's Day. And you can, put it the font you want to use. Let's see, what's a cute font? Let's just say we want to use that one. We'll just use that one real quick. And voila, that's how your crossword search or crossword puzzle, whatever you want to call it, that's how it'll look in your frame. And this would make for a very nice Mother's Day gift. You can gift it to your mother, to your grandmother. So hopefully the tutorial wasn't too long. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. And hopefully you were able to follow along and complete all of the steps so that you can obtain your desired look. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to receive all the notifications. Oh, one last thing before I go. Remember that this square is here. This is just a template so you guys can see how it'll look in whichever frame that you guys are going to use for your crossword search puzzle. See you in the next tutorial.